person. I was like, what are you doing Tuesday?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm live.
You didn't give me...
Hey, heads up, I'm live. How's it going? Damn. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So what are we saying?
Nothing.
Oh, that conversation's over?
Yep.
My goodness. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me, baby. I'm gonna have to get my Barry White out tonight.
I didn't even get a notification when it started.
No? Someone did. Someone said, "Yo, JP." She's feeling not so great, I suppose. Otherwise, she'd be over here with me, sitting in my leather throne, saying what's up to you guys. But instead, you just got me tonight for a little while, or as long as we want. I got nothing but free time. Oh man. Oh, unless I pass out. Oh. Excuse me. Holy crap. Yeah, we got here. Yeah, so just doing another live show tonight. Not a whole lot going on today. If you guys have been watching the, I don't know, spec books and pre-sales and Red Goblins and stuff like that going on. It's been an interesting week, to be honest. For myself, I have really gotten into Kickstarters lately, much to my, I don't know, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's nothing like it's one of the truest ways to help support an independent comic, I would see. Looks like Brian Pulido does that quite a bit with Lady Death, and some other people jumping in on that as well. So we can talk a little bit about that, because I think it's interesting. I know that there's a huge support in our community, and I don't mean like our community on YouTube, but specifically the comic book community, supporting other people and supporting these projects. Like today, there's a new project that was introduced to me today. I guess I went live last night, and I had met the gentleman. Sorry guys, there's like water in my lungs. I met the guy who's doing the project in Seattle at that convention. I didn't know he was doing this project, to be honest with you. I met him a few times. He's friends with Sorsung, and he stopped by the booth a few times when I was there. Real nice guy. Goes by the name of Ron Z. But so anyways, he's got this project, book issue number 2 coming out. The Kickstarter's for. It's called Patriotica. So I don't know much about the character. I just saw that Sora was doing a cover, so then I thought I would check out the Kickstarter. And then some of the Facebook groups I'm a part of started sharing it there. Next thing you know, this guy is like already beat his budget or his goal, and he still has 30 days or whatever is left on the pledge. So good for him, good for his book. It's good to see the support, honestly. So Patriotica issue 2 is 100% funded already, and still has the whole duration to go. So that's cool to see. He's well over his he's almost at like his stretch goal number 4. And that's after one day, so good for his comic. One that ended, let's see what else we have going on. Okay. Hope I'm not getting a cold. That would suck. With everything else going on. Don't want to get sick. So, there's a Lady Death Kickstarter that just ended last night. I helped support that one. There was something else, Penny for Your Soul. Helped support that one just because I wanted the Ula Moss cover. Hate to say that, but I have no reason to really support. I mean, I'm sure those guys don't care as long as they get the support, right? So they offer up these artists to get artists to do special covers for them to entice people. So it worked for me. I got the Ula Moss for that one. Colette Turner and Sora Sung for the Lady Death. And now Sora Sung for Patriotica. I feel like there's one more, but who knows. I'll have to check my Kickstarter account and see what all I've signed up for. My goodness. Well, so, all in all, that's kind of, today's just kind of a lazy day for me. Played lots of video games with the kids, did some grocery shopping. Had a conversation with Mr. Rigg today. That was really good. Great guy if you guys don't know him or haven't chatted with him. Very enjoyable to talk to. Talked a little bit about Zombie Tramp and commissions and stuff like that. And yeah, Zombie Tramp's one of those books I definitely missed the initial boat on. I would say if I could go back in time and change something, I would have gotten more involved with that book for sure. Yeah. Didn't really do much today as far as comic business goes. I did, let's see, what did we do? We pre-ordered the Art Germ exclusive for Action Comics 1000. He's doing an exclusive with buymytoys.com. So if you guys aren't on that yet, he has a 3-cover set, or there's like individual covers of like a vintage cover, a regular cover, and a sketch cover, I believe. So if you guys are into that kind of stuff, you might want to stop over and check that out. Nothing ridiculously overpriced. Let's see. Audie Granov has a... Hello. Hello again. Hello, Matilda. Mr. Rigg. Yeah, excuse me, guys. So, Daredevil 600's coming up. Audie Granov is doing... how was the con? For me, it was excellent. I had a really good time. Enjoyed the company, the people, and the really cool opportunities that I had to meet creators, talk with creators, hang out. Yeah, I had lots of fun. Honestly, I could not have asked for a better experience, I would think, for my first real con since 2006, you know, so, that being said, you know, there's only one thing that left a bad taste in my mouth, but, otherwise, it was an amazing time. So, you know, part of the stuff with the con that, I forgot to take pictures of everything. It was really kind of overwhelmed with the experience that I really forgot to take it all in and take pictures. So I did finally take some pictures kind of the last day or so. Here and there, crowds and whatnot. There was amazing cosplayers. If you're into that, if you guys are on Instagram, you can actually search, was it hashtag ECECC? Is that right, babe? the hashtag.
Yes.
Yeah. So you do that, you can kind of see all kinds of different stuff, anything that was related to that convention that's on Instagram. But the cosplay was like full on. It was crazy. There were so many Squirrel Girls and Spider Gwens and Venom Gwens. Alright. Well, yeah, it took me all of about 6 minutes to get that worked out in my brain because you want to support everyone, but you can't unless you're rich, and I'm not. So you have to pick and choose your battles, and I would definitely suggest having a plan of attack. Had I known a little more about the convention going in, but since I was basically a newbie and Spidey Fan was kind enough to help me out in the trenches, if you will, and it just took me Thursday, which is kind of a slower day, to kind of get my bearings, and I got overwhelmed right away, so I had to work through that. So once I did, it was all good, and I learned everyone's a salesman there. I mean, literally everyone. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, it's a convention. That's what they're there to do. They're there to sell their product, sell their stuff, get as much money as they can until they go to the next convention. So, in that sense, I totally understand. Matilda says, hello, Heather.
Hello.
She's kind of just relaxing over there, trying to get her body back to happy. But she says hello back to you. I would honestly, I would, if I can make it work out, if if I could pick another convention to go to, I would definitely book that convention again. I learned that Sunday was definitely the best day to get sketches and stuff like that from creators. Apparently on Sunday morning, everyone in Seattle goes to church, so it's pretty quiet in the morning time. So right away at 10 a.m., we were able to just get in whichever line we wanted to get into. For me, it was the Adam Hughes line because I hadn't gotten anything signed by him the whole 4 days or whatever. I'd gotten the sketch done, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to get a couple books signed. In particular, my Vampirella Strikes #2, which I find to be a really badass book and hard to find. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. So the other part of the convention that I would say I wasn't prepared for was the unique thing about Seattle is they also had literary guests. So there were a lot of different authors there, fantasy, just for me personally, there was two of my favorite artists of all time that were there. Right on, man. We're all doing the same thing. So R.A. Salvador was there. If you guys are familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, Legend of Drizzt, one of my favorite D&D storylines. And it's been going on for 20 something years at this point, but still I enjoy it. And Patrick Rothfuss was there, who does the Kingkiller Chronicles, which is only 2 books are out, and he's working on the 3rd now. But it's a trilogy. It's an amazing story, very unique, heavily embedded in the magic fantasy type stuff. But it's hard to describe it without giving much away. But it's not like any other book I've ever read, I would say. But anyways, did not get a chance to meet those guys because I wasn't planned for it. I was all so focused on the comic side of things. That's what we were really there for. I did get the opportunity to meet Ming Chen from Comic Book Men. So if you're familiar with that television show on AMC, or used to be on AMC, the Kevin Smith backed Comic Book Man, he was really nice. That's for sure, Mr. Rigg. There was like no time. I went to the sales floor plenty of times, but just trying to like dig and look for books or deals or whatever. Everything that I came across, there was really hardly any modern books. It was mostly Silver Age and above. But, you know, I kind of flipped through some books looking for. I actually had a specific list I was looking for, and there was not even a single vendor there that had the type of book I was looking for, let alone the issues I was looking for. So, did not do a whole lot of digging. Picked up some exclusives that I showed off last time. The J. Scott Campbell Lady Death one. I wish I would have picked up that Rick and Morty. Spidey fan even mentioned it to me, but I think either I know I forgot and he may have just chosen not to get it. I can't remember. But yeah. All in all, if you can swing it, afford it, or whatever your life is like, I would definitely recommend hitting up that convention if you can at some point. Very, very heavy traffic. I mean, Spidey fan knows more than I do, and he said it's one of the bigger ones. J. Scott Campbell, yeah, I tell you, he's definitely a celebrity in the comic book world for sure. But he also loves his fans. You can tell he really appreciates. He was very gracious. There were multiple people that wanted to have full-on conversations with the man. Not once did he shush those people or tell them to hurry up, there's people waiting or anything like that. So he was only scheduled for signing on Saturday. He announced on Instagram on Thursday night that he might come in Friday from 3 to 5 for a signing. Depends on his flight from Denver, of course. Ultimately, he made it. Nice, you're so stealthy. He came in on Friday. He signed. Got there at 3 o'clock, like he said. Started signing, and he was still signing after 7 o'clock when the convention closed. So not only was he scheduled 3 to 5, he stayed past closing to finish up. Not that he had that many people waiting. There was quite a few people in wheelchairs and motorized carts and stuff like that. There's elevators, it's definitely accessible, in that regard. So, and he was coming back from for Campbell. He also was battling the flu, he said, so he wasn't able to shake people's hands on Friday just for fear of getting people sick. But he was just super nice to everyone. Posed for a picture with me. Also a Spidey fan. He had a picture with him with his remark. Yeah, for sure. I know it's a longer trip for you than it is for the rest of us, but I would definitely recommend that convention over. I don't know much about other conventions. I couldn't say, but for this thing, there's a lot of people there. It was huge, but it was very. In my opinion, it was very well run. There was nothing that I would have said that they need to work on that would make things easier for people. It was all pretty well laid out. Good traffic. The escalators were just constantly up and down all day, filled with people. But yeah. And then back to Campbell. It's kind of, I guess, what you would expect from someone with this stature. There was no sketches or anything like that, but let's be real, there was no way he would have had time. His line was so long most of the time, you know. They had a very strict, everyone gets one free signature, and then it's $20 a signature after that. So I went back both days to get my stuff signed. And then, what else? You know, like I said, he would pose for pictures and have a conversation with you and all that kind of stuff. His fiance also showed up, if you guys follow him on Instagram at all. And then Saturday, he was, I got there a little bit early, got up in his line, because I didn't want to, they had it roped off on Saturday. They had to rope it off because of the amount of people. And it was kind of a goofy setup, but they did the best they could, the people working it. So, I was the cutoff of the first line, and then they started the second line that was a little further back, and they had to tape it off with blue tape and everything, and it was kind of interesting, but lots of really, really nice people. From the people working the place to the people, the vendors, the guests, you know, for the most part, it was a really, really, really enjoyable experience. So, you guys, like I said, I couldn't recommend it enough. The city itself is hard to navigate and get around without Uber, you know, so it's going to be very expensive. I went with a false sense of security that $50 in Uber gift cards was going to last me. It did not. It didn't even last past the first day, basically. Because I didn't know much about Uber. I'd never taken an Uber until that day. So just for practice, I took one from my house to the airport so my wife wouldn't have to get the kids all up and go to the airport and drop me off. So that was an interesting first experience, which was fine. But then when I got to Seattle and I shared an Uber with a stranger to help cut the cost back, and she kind of gave me the rundown. Hey, what's up, Rebel? So, yeah, speaking of Kickstarters, right? I can talk about that again. So, do you have a Kickstarter that's live right now? Possibly. I can't remember. So, I was just talking about Kickstarters earlier. The ones that I'm supporting right now and have supported recently. So, not live. Oh, you just wrapped up one. Okay. So yeah, if you guys don't know, subscribe to Rebel Comics, and you know he has a Kickstarter for his book. Okay, couple months, the new issue of Niobe with a Y, so don't mess it up this time, right? Lesson learned. So yeah, there's just a lot. It's just a really good way to support a lot of independent books and whatnot. So if you guys, you know, I have to say, let's get up here in your face for like. Oh, nice. You guys, there wasn't a whole lot of people on the live show last night, so some of the stuff I can show again, and you guys would be like, oh, it's all new and fresh. So I'll pick this up. I've actually picked up quite a few independent books in the last week or so. This is from Valiant. It is War Mother. And I have to say, what got me was this back cover. And the David Mack cover didn't hurt either. You know, I do love some David Mack. So I look forward to breaking this open and getting some more. Got a little more downtime now, waiting to move. So, yeah. So, this does, I mean, if you guys like David Mack work, this is pretty badass. So, I'm excited to check that out. And then...
It's like super loud.
Huh? I can't tell. Well, I block things out anyways. And then New Mutants Forever. Can you guys hear my wife eating her crunchy chips? That is the question.
I feel like it's super loud.
I think it's just loud because of my soft voice.
Yeah.
Matilda says no.
Okay, good.
If Matilda says no, she is not a lady to lie. So, this book here, guys, Gideon Falls, it's sold out in every one of my shops locally. I did not get the chance to pick it up locally, so I had to order it online. But there's an amazing jock cover that he did for that book. But looking at some of the reviews today, there's quite a few different YouTubers did a review for that book, and everything's been positive. It's a new horror story from Jeff Lemire, and art by Andrea Sorrentino, which, I don't know, I've been looking for a good horror story since probably the last one I really enjoyed was how was it, Harrow County? Yeah. I think that's what it's called. That was pretty awesome. And then there's a little preview in here for new Witches by Scott Snyder and I think Jock as well, doing the covers. So it's called Bad Egg. You guys can see it in here. So I never read the first round, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? So, phew. Yeah. So I met this I didn't really meet this artist, but thanks to Seattle, I met an artist. Her name is Jai Wong Kim. She's on Facebook, she's on Instagram, all the stuff. Really, really amazing, talented lady, and she's doing a commission for myself right now, and yeah, I can't wait to show that off once it's done, because right now I got the commission bug. Apparently my wife has also caught the commission bug, so she started reaching out to artists on her own behalf. So I got her a cool Poison Ivy sketch in Seattle, which I haven't shown off yet because she's going to show it off once she gets better and ready to join the realms with us again. So one of the other books I haven't read yet, but I'm actually excited to read, is another independent book called Oni Press. It's an Oni Press book, which Oni Press probably got lots of people's money this week with the Rick and Morty. What was it called again? The Ballad of Sang or something like that? Yeah. The Ballad of Sang. This also got really good reviews. There's a not a new YouTuber, but a gentleman I started catching up on some of his videos today, and he did a review for it, and he really liked it. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait to check that out. His name, what was the name of his channel? Ah, dang it. I'll try and put it in the comments once I remember. Once this post or whatever. So, anyone, look at that save. Look at that save. You guys got earthquake real time. That's what just happened there. Without an earthquake, just me. Sorry. Dang it, what was I gonna say? Anyone watch Jessica Jones yet? Season 2 on Netflix? I need to get around to it. The wife and I need to break down and watch it on our fancy 19-inch tube TV that we have going right now. So I don't know if I showed these books off last week or not. I picked up some oldies but goodies. X Factor. This is the Goblin Queen storyline for Inferno. Pretty. Me too. I have to really it's like a commitment, you know. I really have to dive into it and want to do it. X Factor 70. Bought some of these on Instagram from a guy for like $1 a piece. No real reason other than I was trying to get, I want to try and get more of the, need a watch buddy. That makes sense. This has nothing to do with the Inferno from Marvel. But it's got Lobo on the cover. Everyone's favorite Lobo. Hawkeye and Mockingbird #1. Mocking bird. Yeah. No?
I was going for it, but you just did it weird.
Oh. I think that was like a Dumb and Dumber moment, wasn't it?
Mocking bird. Yeah.
I could show off some more Red Sonja goodness.
Oh, jeez.
Because I know you guys haven't seen enough of that in the last few weeks. I think we showed off Vampirella, the collection we bought for Vampirella.
I don't remember us showing all of it off.
Yeah. She has a ton of stuff to show off, but I guess that will be for another day. Another day, another time. I'm pretty sure I showed off all my stuff, but I mean, some stuff I wouldn't mind showing again, like some magic. You got the magic in you. Or in me. Is it in me? I don't know.
I think it's I've got the magic in me.
I've got the magic in... That's what that demon's about to sing. And she's getting ready to eat her face. He probably has a deeper voice, though. I got the magic
You're
in
like
me.
off-center. You saved your camera, but you're like in the corner.
Yeah, I was hiding so people could see the awesome chair I sat in.
You were doing a good job of that.
Yeah. The brown Corinthian leather in which I rest. This is my favorite pickup lately. It has nothing to do with my normal collection, but oh my gosh, look at this cover. Look at that. Look at her.
Look at you.
Look at her. What?
At you in the reflection.
Yeah. Seeing me, seeing you. Look at this. Not only kill her, but sing too. Yeah. That's how demons roll. I'm pretty sure. This is a Djurjevic cover. I just love her face. Right there in that glare. Put the spotlight on her face. Just kidding. But, I don't know.
It's like your face on her.
Yeah. She has a beard. No beard. This one's pretty cool too, but I really like the other one. Like, this is more of a Lady Next Door. And this is more of like, I put the makeup on, I'm going out tonight, ladies.
Sorry.
You're fine. Everyone loves to hear you snack.
Shut your pie hole.
Did everyone pick up Rick and Morty? Everyone get some Rick and Morty Vindicators? I hope so. What else did I pre-order? Oh, so there was the Artgerm exclusive. J. Scott Campbell has a couple exclusives going on right now for the 20th anniversary of Danger Girl. There's
Artgerm.
I already talked about that.
Well, I'm being excited about it, so.
You should be excited for it. It's an awesome cover. Artgerm's the man, lady.
Duh. I know that.
You do. So, what else? What'd you give up on halfway through the season? Oblivion Song by Robert Kirkman of Walking Dead fame. I've yet to read it. I've seen a mixed bag of reviews.
I thought you were talking about Rick and Morty.
Oh, probably. I haven't watched much of Rick and Morty either. Yeah, it was so funny that Spidey fan and I debating in the hotel room. We're like, because I went over to Dan's booth, like, almost. He was the first creator that I actually engaged with at the convention, and he's kind of an older gentleman. But I had messaged him a week or so prior to the convention to see if he was going to have any of the Die Kitty Die series there. I was expecting, loose books, whatever. But they had the hardcovers, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So I picked those up. That was definitely something. Hey, what's up, Eddie? No, man, I don't think anyone sleeps in our community. If we do, it's not for long. There's too much to talk about. We can't sleep. So I was after meeting Dan and talking to him, and he signed the books and stuff that I purchased. So I was thinking, I'm like, he definitely wasn't Canadian or French Canadian or French. I'm like, so I'm ruling out the whole Perrant thing. So I just assumed it was Dan Parent at that point, and we were debating it in a hotel room, and he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, I'm not sure. I really didn't ask him how to pronounce his name, but based on conversation, I'm going to say it's not Perrant." So the next day, he confirmed that it was Dan Parent, not Perrant. But it was a funny conversation. I had lots of funny conversations this trip, for sure. Like,
You didn't talk about the fire alarm.
yeah, there was, I was so lucky. The one night, I think it was the last night I was in his hotel room, the fire alarm went off at like 1:30 in the morning. And I don't know if you guys have ever had to experience something like that when you're delirious because we stayed up pretty late, and then, so we run outside, like, I wake up because I'm sleeping on like the couch, and he's over in his bed, and I wake up to this awful sound. It's just this, the fire alarm sound. You guys know what it sounds like. And I look over, and he's just as confused as I am because he's playing with like the thermometer panel or something by the door, and I'm like, "Turn it off!" And he's like, "I'm trying," and then it registers with us like, "Oh shit, that's the fire alarm," and you grab what you can because you got to get out of the freaking hotel. Us in our stupor. I'm in shorts and a hoodie. I grabbed my cell phone and my wallet, and he's in his pajamas and grabs, I don't know, I think he grabbed his, like, rental car keys or something, I don't know. But it was freaking a scene, right? And then we all go down, we're on the 8th floor, so there's only, I think there's 9 floors. What's up, man? How you doing? So we go outside, and it's pretty chilly in Seattle at 1:30 in the morning, and I'm in shorts. And there's just all these hordes of people out there waiting from the building. And then the fire people show up, and it's like, I don't know if it was from being tired or what it was, but these firemen were like giants. They're like the largest firefighters you can imagine. So anyways, the long story short, they finally let us back in the building. It was turned out the next morning it was just a sprinkler system faulty, whatever. So then, as fate would have it, the next night, my last night in Seattle, I stayed in a hostel. If you guys have never had that experience, I would strongly recommend it. At least in America. I mean, horror movies, they're always in the back of your mind when you put yourself in certain situations. And I think staying the night in a hostel, I was a little leery, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, I do not. Alright, say no to hot chicks, no matter what happens. Anyone comes to talk to you, don't leave your food, don't leave your drink. And there was a Taiwanese restaurant attached to it. So I had lunch there before I was able to get into my room, or bunk bed, whatever. So I felt a little more comforting knowing that this restaurant was attached. And the one thing I can say about my experience with Seattle, there's definitely a lot of different Asian people, Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese, Korean. Everyone was so freaking nice. Like, it was really, really, really nice. And the Taiwanese restaurant was no different. They actually charged my phone because my phone had died, and I was panicking a little bit because, a strange city, no cell phone, staying in a hostel. I might need my phone. Um, so then, 4 o'clock the next morning, I wake up to freaking fire engines and sirens going off and everything. And it turns out there was a place down the street called the Jade Garden had caught on fire. So um, it was like 2 days in a row of fire crap, and I was about tapped out of the fire scene. um, it makes for good stories and good conversation and stuff, experiences, but man, I do not ever want to be caught in a building on fire, that's for sure. So, all in all, the hostel was a really interesting experience. You got to go downstairs the next morning and make your own breakfast. You have a full kitchen to your available to you. You have to wash your own dishes after you're done, which is kind of interesting. So I washed mine and someone else's because I'm nice that way. Whoa. What are you doing? What is that? You're doing like, oh, what are you doing? You're doing like, no one can see that. That's just weird. Strange life, happy wife, so it is. Happy wife, strange life. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Meeting some of the other people. I met some of the guys from CBSI, like other, not from CBSI, but contributors to the website. And they're cool people, nice folks. Met up with one of the guys from Facebook that I partake in a lot of his different cells and stuff. Helped him out with like the one thing I didn't think about taking pictures, like Brian Michael Bendis. I had the pleasure of meeting him, having a conversation with him about the future of DC and everything, and was it a lot of stuff to carry home? Yeah, I had to be really creative, especially, I don't think I have it out here to show you, but I bought like this big accordion file with a handle, so I could use that like a briefcase, and that's what I kept my books in because it had dividers and everything. So that was the best thing I could think of, because I didn't want to have to check a bag because that's just more money. So I put everything in a backpack. I learned I learned how to roll clothes from a YouTube military guy a few years ago. So when I pack, I always roll my clothes now so I can fit more stuff in a bag, and it's really helpful. So I was able to get 5 days worth of clothes in a bag. Plus, on the way back, I put all my hardbacks and graphic novels. Yeah, for sure, it helped keep all the books safe and sound. But it did not. I could have brought a lot more books with me had I been more prepared, I would say. But I didn't. So, the thing to keep in mind is everyone has a limit, right? So, Adam Hughes' limit was 5 books that he was signed for free. Greg Horn's limit was 3, I believe. Adi Granov's was like 5 or so, I can't remember exactly. I kind of took 2, excuse me, because I didn't know what the limits were, so I just took 2 books per person. Except for Adam Hughes, had 3 because my wife snuck one in to get signed. But not a big deal, didn't even come close to pissing anyone off, so that was good. But I was trying to think, I don't know. I'm really into this exclusive stuff. Like, I don't know what you guys think of all this Red Goblin nonsense with ASM, but yeah, I mean, other than the J. Scott Campbell thing, he was pretty clear with 1 free cig for everyone, $20 a pop after that. from what I could tell from Natalie Sanders' booth, she was charging. I think the first signature was free, and then it was $5 a signature after that, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, $20 per signature was what his charge was after the free one. So, I guess his prices have really gone up over the last few years, but I would imagine that that guy is probably, you know,
Has
he's.
nothing to do with his wife or whatever.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what makes them determine. I'm trying to learn that side of the business because there are plenty of artists that charge nothing and will sign a flippin' short box for you if you really, you know, just because they love their fans or whatever. I don't know. I mean, everyone's so it's all different personalities, you know. Um, Maybe someday I'll have the privilege of knowing the ins and out on a personal level. So yeah, for sure. You know, I get that. Because none of the, I mean, I converse with like Babs Tarr and Chrissy Zulo. Um, you know, there's a whole slew of people that are free. They'll sign, like I said, they'll sign for you for free. And also for commissions and stuff. You know, going into these type of things, you're not going to get a commission from Campbell. That's just never even crossed my mind in a hint of like, oh, I wonder if I'll be that magical person and he just takes time out and does a sketch for me. You know, like never even crossed my mind like that because you have to be realistic with your expectations. And for me, I found focusing on like I don't want to say like B level creators because I don't think that's fair, but kind of as far as stature goes, I guess would be, you know, I mean, Art Adams and those guys. Everyone has a commission list, and the one that surprised me was how fast Chrissy Zulo booked up on Instagram. You know, and I just joke around about the whole Adi Granoff thing. You know, he only does 10 sketches a day. He takes 10 people, and you get a 5-minute sketch, and it's $50. So I'm sitting there in line with Spidey Fan. I'm just laughing. I was like, you know, this guy's getting $500 for 50 minutes of sketching. That's a pretty good freaking turnaround. What? That's pretty awesome. You know, I'm hoping with some of the relationships that I made at this event, because it's the comic community. You can probably Rebel. You can attest to this. That's a very like small community. At the end of the day, as far as creators and stuff go, everyone knows somebody, right? So if you're in there creating, you know, whether you're using an artist or a writer or whatever it is, you know, somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. And, you know, for me, having the privilege to get to know Sora Sung, you know, her best friend and roommate is the guy who runs J. Scott Campbell's booth. His name is Brett. So I'm thinking to myself, hey, there's something to, hopefully some potential down the road, you know. I met Doug Peters, if you guys know who that is. He's basically runs comic sketch art. So he represents like what do you do? Art, oh, Mark Brooks for sure. Adi Granov. I know they did an exclusive with Adam Hughes. I don't know about on the art front, because I think they still kind of do their own art thing. But you know, having a conversation with him, you know, just really starting to learn kind of the ins and outs of like the business side of that, and just for interest, really more than anything. I'm not a creator, not yet, anyways. I can't draw anything, but I do have this amazing idea that I want to do eventually. So I kind of met some people. So here's the long and short of it, really. As I was standing in line to get Adam Hughes's get my sketch done from Adam Hughes, I was like third in line. You know, initially I was first, but the guy told me I couldn't start a line yet. I had to wait 15 more minutes. So I stepped away and came back, and there was 2 people ahead of me, but whatever. Um, so talking to the 2 guys, you know, they made a joke about me being so friendly that I must be Canadian, um, and me at that point, you know, being the jokester that I am, and knowing that anyone who would say that must be Canadian, right? So I was like, well, you know, Canadians aren't as friendly as people think, and he's like, you know, I take offense to that. And I was like, I'm just messing with you, man. I know you're Canadian. So that kind of broke the ice, and we were joking around. And it turns out the 2 guys ahead of me, they're friends, and they worked on the Rick and Morty show. They worked in the production part of it. The one guy worked in the animation part of it, and the other guy actually drew some of the scenes, I guess, or whatever you want to call it. So I started talking to those guys a little bit about, you know, how to animate stuff and programs to use, and took down some notes just for a future project that I've been putting on the back burner for like 10 years. But anyways, this is the year. This is the year I do something with it. But it's just kind of cool just to see, you know, get again more insight of how things work in a different part of the community. Because I'd made, you know how it is like when you stick your foot in your mouth, because that's what I'm really, really good at, is if there was any way to offend someone, I will find that way. Make your book. So like, I just made a comment about how the artwork for Rick and Morty isn't as detailed. Yeah, man, I bet you have. You got the definitely the insights on that kind of stuff, which is cool. But I was just kind of, I mean, I'll just pull this up here. It's not the most sophisticated artwork, right? Well, we know that. But they were kind of busting my balls a little bit because they're like, it's harder than you think, and I'm like, I don't discount that for sure. I mean, I can't draw for anything, so. But it's just, you know, if you're going to compare something like this to some of the more mainstream stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for your next thing, Rebel, because I'm definitely going to have to get on some Paul Green action to go with my Paul Green collection. So I'll have to make sure I know all about that.
I don't know what he could do right now.
Yeah, so I met a guy who was a writer, and he's doing his own book now. And he couldn't give me all the details yet, but he's, you know, as a writer, he basically has to pay for everything himself, right? Or unless you do like Kickstarter, I suppose. But, you know, he had to find an artist to do his book for him. He had to pay it all out of pocket and all that stuff.
Yes, our baby is crying.
Yeah, baby's crying. He's like, "You're talking too loud, Dad. Shut your dang mouth." But yeah, it's just really, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. And then for me personally, I don't know if you guys follow Todd McFarlane on YouTube, but he just put a video up the other day about scripting and how you have to lay it all out, and it was just stuff that I was actually interested in. And then there was another guys who were working on some videos. I think it's Comic and Things, if I'm not mistaken, on kind of how the whole setup and layout goes. Because I find that stuff really interesting. You know, I've done short films and stuff like that before, so I know about, you know, writing scripts and screenplays. If you ever want to see my finest work of art, it is on YouTube. It's not under my channel. Yeah, there we go. So they have a stuff that I want to go back and watch that just out of curiosity. Yes.
Okay.
What's up?
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay. What's wrong? Oh. Anyways, what are you doing? So, yeah, there's a short film that I stop it that is on YouTube that was written and directed by this guy. Also starred in by this guy. It wasn't the intent, but I had to learn how to act horribly to get through the project. But anyways, it makes me laugh because it's 7 minutes. A 7 minute short film, and you had to try and tell a story in 7 minutes. It was for a film festival called the 48-Hour Film Festival. If you guys are ever into that sort of stuff, but it's a comical film, maybe not by intent, but it certainly is funny. But anyways, more on comics, right? That's someday I would love to write something just to say you did it.
Should make everything into a comic.
I thought about that. I was thinking about that today. So yeah. So my project that I want to really focus on is for a cartoon that I had created a few years ago, and I think it would still be relevant. Would definitely be more of like an Adult Swim type creation, just because of the nature of the humor and the characters involved. But anyways, this year is my plan. Once we get settled and everything, I can actually start focusing on that a little bit more. Take a break from all these dang comics that I've stacked up over here. So hopefully this Rick and Morty thing takes off pretty soon, because I got a few to get rid of. For whatever reason, our LCS here, the big one, had a shitload left. I will tell you what they all. I know it's kind of cliche, Matilda, but everything I've gathered is just keep drawing, draw and draw and draw. And the more you practice, the better you get. I've seen some of your works already. Your little. Now I don't know if they're intended to look like Funko Pops, but I think that some of them look like fun little Funko Pop drawings that you do. So, there's that. If they're not intended to look that way, I apologize. So, but I think they do look pretty cool. So, I dabble more than anything.
Oh shit!
And I kick cups of water onto the floor.
Fired.
Fired. But I do enjoy drawing occasionally. I'm just not. It's not something I'm good at. But
Better than me.
I will admit, if you pick up like a how to draw book, it doesn't matter what it is. I actually did a how to draw manga a few years ago, so I can make really good eyes. That was my focus. I can make my eyes look pretty top notch. So if I could maybe make a book about eyes, I'd be in good shape. But for now, I'll just stick with creative writing. That seems to be something I'm at least entertained by. Did everyone get this book too? The Adi Granov? Not sure if it's a hot book yet or not, but it's a hot cover. I really want to see, what was it? Was it Artgerm that did that cover? What are we looking at? Oh, sweet. Well, there you go. You're on the right track. I think Artgerm did a Ms. Marvel cover that's coming out, right? Yeah, we were talking about that. Captain Marvel, whatever. So this is the commission I got done, or getting done by Sora Song, is going to be of Carol Danvers in this particular uniform. I asked for more of a Brie Larson type look to her to match the movie. We'll see. I don't really care for the mohawk, the military cut thing going on, but we'll see. Oh man, what else? I kind of picked up some dumb, I shouldn't say dumb, but it's not really my style. I don't know why I pick up some of the stuff I do. Gears of War.
Drive me crazy.
Yes, to drive you crazy. It's my whole point in life.
Huh.
So, I like this cover a lot. Issue number 2, cover A. if I can get you without a glare. I think I have hair dye on my fingers because I was attempting to help my wife with her hair dye. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I didn't know it, but yeah, definitely something there. So yeah, so what else we got? Pre-orders. Like I said, there's the Campbell exclusive with KRS Comics, I believe. This is the Smoking Gun. I believe the variant is all sold out already, but I was able to get it through another retailer who had some copies as well. I'm trying to think who that was. Oh, Jetpack Comics. They had it. A few, anyways. I'm really in love with the Adi Granov Daredevil 600. He did Daredevil with Elektra. So far, there was a red cover, a red uniform,
Black Ops.
a black ninja. Who's calling it ninja? Black Ops ninja. I don't know. And now there's supposed to be a third cover, which I thought was supposed to be released today, but no one seemed to have it, or hasn't shown a picture of it yet. But anyway, so pre-ordered a couple of those sets, and pre-ordered, of course, the Mark Brooks New Mutants, and I missed out on the Campbell New Mutants, but I did pre-order one of the cover D, which is the one I wanted the most. And then can't think of anything else. Hopefully I'll have some unboxing videos coming up here.
Yeah, boxing after we win.
Yeah. We'll call it boxing videos. They'll show us packing all this shit up. Yeah, you definitely gotta check out the Granov, man. I think they're really freaking exceptional. I don't like that these artists are now doing like the same cover, just different color outfits. You know, same pose, all that stuff. I mean, I get the money grab. I know what's going on, in that sense. But also, it'd be nice just to be like, you know, you're gonna do a three cover set. At least with Campbell, when he does those sets, they're all different poses. It looks like for the most part. You know, or at least a couple different poses, and then change their outfits or what have you. But I don't know. It still makes for some beautiful artwork to look at their stuff. You guys read anything good this week yourselves? You know, we get a chance to read Gideon Falls. I would love to hear some other reviews on it, because I think it's going to be a sleeper, because everyone was focused on Oblivion Song this week, and I think Gideon Falls was, I know it sold out at the distributor already, but I'm just kind of curious if it's going to have some legs to it. Speaking of legs, check out those legs. Ooh. Nothing, just a little red Sonia.
Very ridiculous.
I am ridiculous. That's alright though. Little Nightmares, is that a comic? I saw your video on the book review you did. I'm gonna have to check out that Witches book. A new Batman Harley comic. I have to look and see what that is. I'm sure the wife will want that. I wish she was, did I show off the Mira cover? Mira and Phoenix that we finally got in? I think I did. I know, I'm sorry. I think we did a haul video, did we? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we did a haul video the other day, so you guys can check that out. There's some new books in there. Heather just got, like, she has a whole stack of books to show off at some point when she starts feeling. Ooh, speaking of Batman animated, I want to check out that the Ninja Batman animated show. That's got to be coming out pretty soon, I would think. Do your videos sound like reviews? I'm assuming that's what you're asking. Not like the traditional boring reviews shows that are like, you know, I like your style because I think it's funny. I think that, you know, when you say, I'll quote you here, and you said some shit goes down, that makes me laugh because that's a very real. It's alright to talk shit though. That's what's funny. It's entertaining whenever you have something more than just, you know, if I show this book to you and just tell you all about this book, it can be a little bit boring at times. So I think that you add a very real view, you know, and I appreciate that because that's how I like to be. I like to be open and honest, and sometimes brutally honest. But you know, but also with a flair, right? A flair that's not so type A, you know, typical. Did you guys know that Canadian Dry ginger ale also now has a lemonade ginger ale? Sounds amazing. Shut your mouth.
That will plug you up.
You won't today.
Today.
I'll just push you. I'll just push you off the couch. You will be out. Yeah, I have to check it out. I love ginger ale and I love lemonade, so I can imagine those two together would be equally delightful. We'll see. Do you guys know who Jen Bartel is? She did the cover for this. Yeah, Matilda, that's just one man's opinion, of course. I enjoy it. I enjoy the honest approach. This is a really awesome Jen Bartel cover. She does some of the, you know, I don't normally keep this kind of crap, and this thing has been beat all to hell on this trip home. But it's kind of cool. I picked this up on the first day just to kind of map out, and I totally didn't use it until that night at the hotel room. Part of the stuff, you know, to look at it and map out, you know, my next day.
Oh.
So there's stuff that we didn't even get to do at the expo, and that was there's a whole gaming room where you could go play video games and whatnot. So we didn't do that. I did stop at the Dark Horse booth because the lady asked me if I wanted to take pictures, and as in take pictures of myself and dress up like a I don't know, so I put some devil horns on and took some pictures, you know. It was fun. It was free. Not really within walking distance, but maybe a 5 to 8 minute car ride. They shuttled us one day from the hotel. Spidey fan convinced them to shuttle us, so that was cool. The rest of the time was Uber. And then on Sunday, they decided to have a marathon on Sunday, so it took a little bit different routes to get there, but not real far at all. We were, I believe, basically like right next to the Space Needle, if I remember correctly, where the hotel was at. I honestly didn't take any touristy pictures. I didn't even notice the freaking Space Needle until it was pointed out to me. That's the Space Needle. I'm like, oh, okay. But, you know, not real far from the convention at all. And even when I went to the hostel, it was only, gosh, I think it took me, it was a $4 Uber ride, if that tells you anything. Didn't cost hardly anything to get there. Yeah. Lots of unique experiences, lots of unique food, stuff I'd never had before. But I have no complaints. My belly was full, and it was all good stuff. All different. I could not tell you what the heck we had, but it was all good stuff. And sadly, my saddest report is I only had one Starbucks the whole time I was there. I mean, come on, it's Seattle. I should be having Starbucks every day. Went to, it was, I don't know what they call it again. It was like the fancy Starbucks, or it was like the upper level, upper scale Starbucks. I didn't know there was such a thing, but there is. Um, didn't matter. I just wanted some coffee. So, also had some Seattle's Best, but I guess Starbucks owns them now anyways, so spoiler alert for those who prefer Seattle's Best over Starbucks. It's the same stuff. But no. All in all, it was posh Starbucks. Yeah, I can't remember what they called it though. They had like a name for that particular type of Starbucks. It was like Starbucks Select or Starbucks Reserve, something like that. I don't know. Hey man, have a good night. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, I hope Heather feels better too. I need her to start, helping out with these live shows again. No one wants to see my mug all freaking night long. Excuse me. Mr. Riggs.
Bye, Mr. Riggs.
Heather says goodbye, buddy. You don't have Starbucks in Israel. I can't say I'm surprised.
It's better for you that way.
It's better that way?
Mm-hmm.
I love Starbucks.
So bad for you.
It's not bad for you.
It's so full of sugar and crap.
That's if you order the sugar and crap.
No, all of it is anyway.
No, you can order just straight black coffee.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Maybe.
I'm gonna spend $7 on a cup of black coffee.
It's only $2.
Whatever, so arguing with me, I don't feel good.
So, see, that's what I'm intrigued now. Like, what is life like in Israel? So, there's no Starbucks. Is there a Seattle's Best? Because that would be hilarious.
There's an Israel's Best.
Israel's Best coffee. Do you guys have something like a Starbucks over there? You have your own little coffee shops? I know you have coffee shops. You gotta have coffee shops.
Do they have coffee? Maybe they don't have coffee.
They do. They have lots of coffee. See, she said yes. Oh. Heather's phone died, so she can't see the chat anymore. So now you guys can all tell me what you really think. Just kidding. I don't know. I would be willing to bet that you have something like a Starbucks over there that's equivalent to overpriced coffee, full of cream and sugar, and delicious. That's what I think. Because I know over in Turkey, my friend Hakan was drinking coffee last night and sending me videos of such activities. I don't know. I enjoy aroma. See, there you go. Aroma sounds like a fancy name for coffee. Because it smells so good. Alright, well, you guys have anything you want to talk about? Any topics that you would like to know about? Any exciting news on the front? I got some commissions coming down the pipeline. I will say one thing. I have an artist that I paid for a commission with last year. But, hey-o, looky there. Just speak of the devil and he shall appear. What's up, Hakan? Good morning. So I paid this artist last year to do a commission for me, and I don't know, he will not respond to my messages. And it's kind of making me nervous a little bit. It wasn't a lot of money, but it's just the fact that he won't even acknowledge my messages now. And we used to talk on the regular. But I see him on Facebook, and I know he's going through some personal trauma, but yet I see him responding on Facebook to other people, just not me. So it makes me a little bit leery. I don't understand what to think. So I don't know if anyone's ever had issues like that, but I have not. This is my first time. I've had people ignore me, but not like straight up, I've already paid you, now I'm not going to talk to you kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit leery. I know you can, well, I don't even know if I can file a claim with PayPal anymore because I sent it friends and family, so. I'm not sure. That's why I don't. Yeah, I'm glad to see you guys are up and rocking and rolling with us this morning. I'm sure it's time for breakfast in bed for you guys. And I'm ready to hit the bed already. So, Hakan and I were talking today about all the different books that you can pre-order. So, he hooked me up with the J. Scott Campbell information for the 20-year anniversary of Danger Girl. So that's kind of cool. I can't remember what else we were talking about today. We talked a lot about... He and I exchange information all the time about exclusives and pre-orders and things of that nature. So, I'll be excited when all these books come in. I'm gonna have one hell of a haul video to show everybody. I am actually excited for the New Mutants Dead Souls series. Not just for the cool variants, but I would like to see a new New Mutant story, so I'm hoping that turns out to be really well received, and I know that they're canceling books left and right now between Marvel and DC. All the time. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Excuse me. And I wonder why that is. Have book sales completely just fallen off the grid? You know, I know there's only a handful of books, less than a handful really, that sell over 100,000 copies a month. So that's got to be a bit concerning. But I mean, I remember when I was a kid, they were selling, you know, 1 million copies a month. That's so crazy to think about how your #1 seller now barely breaks 100,000, and you know, a decade or so ago, they're selling 1 million copies of a book. That's so crazy. Has the fan base changed that much, or do you think digital sales have impacted it? I don't know. I, for one, have only ever read one book digitally, and that was the Doomsday. That was the Alien Toilet Monsters that they had asked me to review. I did find my little pen. I don't know if I ever showed you guys that. The little, they sent me a little reward for reviewing it. It was like a gold toilet. A golden toilet with teeth. So, it's a nice little trinket if you collect those types of things. I do not typically collect little things like that, but I do have more pens. Oh, holy crap. Until it's getting late in the day for this guy. Some of you folks are just waking up. Some of us are ready for bed. See, my lovely wife has already checked out on me. She's gone. She's gone with the wind. Chris, what is going on? How are you, sir? Well, Doomsday, I was just talking about that. So, next month is the New Mutants Dead Souls. I'm excited for that just because I'm a New Mutants fan. Primarily a Magic fan, but I'm excited to see what's going on. Same to you, Chris. Thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate it. But the book that I really am kicking myself, like, no, it was sold out this week at every shop here in town, which I have 6 or 7 shops to choose from. But I'll show this one more time. Gideon Falls, man. I've saw several YouTubers do reviews on it and read nothing but good things, heard good things. It was, like I said, it was sold out here. Yeah, I know I do it kind of late, but I appreciate you popping in nonetheless. I try to get my world audience. You know, some people are just waking up, but definitely want to pick up. And I did order a couple online, um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with the Gideon Falls. I think it'll be. I think it'll be good. Yeah, Weapon H, is that they're doing a spin-off series, right? Is that what's going on? I'm so like behind on some of the stuff. I read, as far as reading goes, I tend to read more of the independent stuff. You know, I did pick up. I'll show you since you're new to the chat. New Mutants Forever trade paperback, just because I want to check it out. And I'm ready to crack this open tomorrow. The Ballad of Sang. Oh yes, Domino, I'm definitely going to be checking out. I know Campbell has a variant for that as well, for those of us collectors. But also I just want to read Domino. I think she's a great character, underutilized right now, as a lot of them are. This is going to be an awesome read right here. War Mother. David Mack cover. It's a Valiant comic. I literally just was scanning it. It's $10 for the trade paperback, so that's going to be cool. And I think the Campbell variant for Domino is a 1 in 50, so that's going to be a little bit tricky. I have no shot locally, so I'll have to go online for that. What else is coming out this week, guys and girls? If you're a speculator or not, there's Scooby-Doo Apocalypse number 23. There's going to be a cover B by Ben Oliver, and it's an amazing cover. And I've been looking all over online. Midtown's already sold out. There's none on eBay, which is shocking. I went to... you got scammed? What did you get scammed by? That's not good. So I reached out to a couple online shops. All of them are sold out or already spoken for. So I'm hoping that Wednesday morning I'll be the first person at the doors to the shops and see if I can't grab myself at least one copy of the I have a Ben Oliver collection going, so if you guys aren't aware who that is, check him out on Instagram. He's an amazing talent. Yeah, the cover is freaking sweet, man. So Ben Oliver's a pretty badass artist anyways, but he did some work for Green Lantern, and I don't know, I can show you a whole Ben Oliver collection at some point. But anyway, so he did every character as like one of the movie monsters. So you have like Frankenstein, Dracula, there's a zombie. So each character is their own little like movie monster character. But it's really, really, really awesome cover. And I don't know if it's a ratio variant, like if it's a 1 in 10, or if it's a 1 in 1, 1 in 2, whatever. I don't know. But I'm really surprised there's none up on eBay already. So I just know that Midtown's already sold out, which is an indicator. It's the Scooby-Doo Apocalypse number 23 cover B. Comes out next Wednesday. So I know I'm not really into Scooby-Doo per se, but at the same time, I like Ben Oliver, and I don't want to have to pay an arm and a leg for that book. Because if it has any hype to it whatsoever, Scooby-Doo has a pretty good following as it is. I don't need another Popeye 65 situation on my hands. Where, you know, that thing's going for hundreds of dollars for whatever reason. Well, I know why, because there's not that many of them made. So I just don't know what the print run is for Scooby-Doo Apocalypse. I see some places don't even carry it. I'll probably check Midtown again tonight before I go to bed and see if they got it fixed, or maybe it was just a glitch, because initially Midtown had messed up the cover A and cover B listing, so a lot of people had to cancel their orders and whatnot to fix their orders to get it. So And I know some of the folks over at CBSI have been talking about this book, and that's never a good thing for my pocketbook when they're talking about stuff. So, I haven't really picked up anything, but I would suggest Red is the only one I've actually purchased. I'm not really into X-Men too much. One-Legged Books. I did see you had a contest entry for that. Also, Alfred Comics 83, I believe he has a 300 subscriber contest going. I'll do a video for that hopefully this weekend. And then Symphonic Elk also has a subscriber contest going. If you guys aren't aware, make sure you check those guys out and support them. I will make videos for sure for the Alfred contest, because he's just doing the juicy cover contest, and I think I can handle that. Thanks, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for stopping over, man. It's always good to have some of the celebrities of the community. Appreciate the support nonetheless. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. X-Men Red looks the most interesting to me. I haven't read it yet. I prefer to wait till I can get at least a good trade before I start reading something, just because it's easier for me than buying single issues. And then that way I focus my money on back issues and single issues for collecting purposes, and then I can do the trades for reading purposes. So, just how I do things. Doesn't mean it's the right way to do things. That's just how I do it. Either way, they get my money, one form or another. Yeah. Sorry, hoping I don't get a cold. For One-Legged Books, you just need to comment on the video. Alright, I'll check it out. I think I saw your post, but I'll see if there's a link. What? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna go in there, and as soon as I'm done, if no one else goes there and beats me to it. Well, hey, welcome back, Rebel. So yeah, it's I don't know, it's just a book that, like I said, it's just something I want. One left. My gosh. I wish my laptop wasn't broken right now. I'd be all over that. You're at work? You gotta work overnights? I did that for a while. Speaking of working, I did get my job offer done yesterday, so that's all set up. I did overnights for the past month and a half with my job, so I hear you. It's really tough with having a family and all, so really not my cup of tea. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to help out the people that pay your bills. So, $6 shipping, man. That's kind of brutal, but whatever. I would definitely have to check it out. I'm just afraid that book's gonna explode next week. Fair enough. That's what it's all about, man. Right? I mean, everything we do is to do something else, right? Everything pays for something to help pay for the next thing. I'm hoping that one of my 85 kids will do something awesome and take care of me later in life. Just kidding. I'm sure they all would be great. At least one. Just need one. Thankfully, right now, they all have a love for... Thank you for the heads up, Golden. I really appreciate that. I'm writing this down as I shake the shit out of the table. I just really need that book. I get like obsessed with stuff, and Ben Oliver doesn't do a whole lot of what do you call it? He doesn't do a whole lot of work right now. I can't think of the last book he actually did recently. he did a really obscure book that goes for like, I don't know, anywhere between $60 and $100 on eBay. It's not even like I don't even think it's a U.S. book. I think it's probably from the U.K., but that's where he's based out of. Anyways, I just love the guy's art, and if you guys don't follow him on Instagram, you should. He doesn't respond to anything that I've noticed as far as like, hey, do commissions, that kind of stuff. Doesn't really respond, but he does do commissions and sell them on on eBay. So yeah, I don't even know how many Apocalypse, like I said, the print run for that can't be that high anymore. I know it had a nice little start, but I don't know, it's cool. It's cool stuff. I mean, I grew up with Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. So I don't know. I just, like I said, I just need it for my Ben Oliver collection before it gets too expensive. Yeah. So what else is coming out? I don't even know what else is coming out next week. I haven't even looked. I've been so, like, other than this week we did a little haul video. This is probably the first week in months that I actually went to buy new releases. I've been so focused on other parts of my collection that I haven't even, I don't have a pull list anymore, so I don't have that going for me. I've been picking up small collection. And you got all the details in this thing, man. That's good. That's not even that far. Brown Lake. So yeah, this I don't even know new releases anymore. Hey, see you, Matilda. Thanks for stopping in as always. Good talking. Have a great night or good morning in your world. So you guys have to tell me what's new for next week. I just know, like, for me, I pre-order so much exclusive stuff that's where most of my funds go, is towards the Campbell covers, the Granov covers, the Adam Hughes covers. There is an Adam Hughes Vampirilla number 11 that's going to be freaking amazing. That's going to be through Frankie's Comics, but they're not pre-ordering it yet because they're going to wait till like 2 days before release day to make sure their copies are decent. So if you guys saw some of the issues with, yep, I got a set ordered today as well for the wife. I like it. I like the vintage look to the cover, but she likes the modern one. I like the vintage one, and she likes the sketch one. So maybe she'll let me have the vintage one for my collection. Maybe. So yeah, I don't even know what the heck else is coming out this week or next week on Wednesday. I just knew about the Scooby-Doo. So we'll see. I don't know, what's up with the kids tonight, man? You guys hear that? This is the second kid that's woken up. Normally they sleep pretty well, but I don't know. So anyways, I may have to cut this short or long or whatever, so I can deal with the little one before he wakes up the rest of the household. So yeah, you hear that? Alright, well, I better take off here, and appreciate you guys stopping in as always. I'll try and do another live show next week. I maybe have more to talk about from Wednesday, so I can see what's going on. Thanks again. You guys have a good morning, great night, wherever you're at, and take care and be safe. Bye.